Hi everybody. So this is the demo video to show you some of the basic commands in constructing your own wiki page for your final project. I'm assuming that you're on the discussion stuff directory, and let's click on view for the final projects wiki to go to the wiki. So view, and what the home page for the wiki has is simply a listing of all the projects along with some formatting info and this Harry Carey example of a really good project from an earlier Psych 13 class that you should take a look at if you want to know what a project looks like that got a top grade. But here we have a list of all the projects. You'll notice that some have links already and some don't. I've constructed this Bite Me project just to show you around the wiki commands. So we need to create a page for Bite Me since it doesn't have one. If there's a link like this, it means there's a page. If you click this, you'll go to the page for that project. We need that for this Bite Me project, and so let's go ahead and do that. So to add a link, we have to be in edit mode on this page, and you do that by clicking edit. So now we see Bite Me down here, and this brings us to the first command I want to show you, and that's how to create a page. And you do that by putting in your buffer the text or image that you want to create a link to, and go up to this command, which is link to a page. I'm going to click on that, and there's several options here. You can link to an external web page. You can link to an anchor, which I'm not going to talk about here. You can link to a new page, which is what we want to do. And then you can also link to an existing page, one that's already there. Linking to an existing page is very useful if you've set up several pages for your final project. Let's say one for testimonials, another for research results. You'll have these different pages and you'll want to link to them. But right now, we just need to create the home page for the Bite Me project, and I'll just call that page Bite Me. Click on Insert, and now notice that it's linkable. So now what we need to do, since we're on the home page, we need to go to our Bite Me project page, which means we need to scroll down to the bottom to save and exit, get out of this, and then click on Bite Me, which takes me to the new home page for the Bite Me project. Now we can't type in here yet because we need to go into edit mode. So there's a number of ways you can construct your project, but my suggestion would be to just whip out a table and construct your project within the table. This link right here is to embed media like a video. Here we can embed images. Here you can upload files like if you have a PDF. This link right here is to create a table. So let's do that. Before you do that, you should think through how you want to structure your project page, because you need to decide on number of columns and number of rows. The reason why it's important to think through your project and how many columns and rows you want is because you can't change columns and rows using this edit table box. You can always do that by editing the raw HTML, and I'll show you that in a bit, but unless you have some experience doing that, you probably don't want to do that. So let's assume that I've decided on 3 columns and 8 rows. Some other parts of the table is cell padding and cell spacing. I'll show you that later. Alignment, probably you just want to go left, and I would suggest having a border of 5 pixels. I'll show you what that is in a minute. So let's go ahead and create our table by just clicking Insert, and you'll notice we've got our table here. Now it's all mushed up. I could have specified width and height in there to avoid this, but it's not a big deal. When I have a table like this, what I do is I just stick some letters in the top row just so I can see where the cells are. Notice I'm clicking in this cell, and now here's some letters. So now we have our table, and these are the borders. You can see each individual cell, which is handy. Now, let's say I want to edit that. I go back to our table command, and I could specify width here or height. Border, this 5-pixel border, is the border around the cells. Now let me just show you what cell padding and cell spacing is. Cell spacing, and I'm going to do 10 pixels so it's real noticeable. Cell spacing basically puts a space around each cell. Let's go back to our edit. I want to show you cell padding. I'm going to get rid of cell spacing, and let's put 10 pixels in for cell padding, just so it's easy to see. What cell padding does is it creates a space inside the cell around your information. And so you can use either one of those as you see fit. Okay, so first thing I want to do is show you how to insert a picture. And you do that by this Insert Image button. So there's different ways you can insert a picture. You can specify a URL, or you can get it from your own hard drive, which is what I'm going to do by clicking that. So let's choose a file, and we'll get this Leave Brittany Alone picture. Click on Upload, and there we go. Let's insert it. Don't worry about, don't worry about item or image description or title. Just click Insert, and there we have our picture. Now this picture is a lot larger than what I would want, and so you can resize your pictures by just clicking and dragging. So now we have a picture. Let's say we want to have this be a link to our research findings. So we just type in research results, and rather than type research results in one cell, let's make a page for it. So, whoops, no. So I want to create a link to this, and so we go back, we go back over here to create a link to a page. We did that before. We're going to set up a new page, and I'm going to type Bite Me because it will be clear in the list of files, I'll show you in a bit, which ones belong to this project. And so it's our research results. So that's the name of the page. Insert. And so now we have a clickable link to that page. Now we can't go to that page until we save and exit from this. But you know how to type stuff into a cell, create your table, insert a picture, resize the picture, and create a link to another page. So what else can you do? Just like in Word, you can change the size of stuff, the fonts, bold stuff, and so that's straightforward to do. If you decide that you don't want this link, you could just delete this. You could just delete this whole thing. But let's say you want to keep the text but get rid of the link, then you go up here to this command here, which unlinks it, and the link disappears. Now, that page still exists. You just got rid of the link. So what else is useful here? I'll just show you this, but unless you have some HTML experience, you probably don't want to use this. But if we click on HTML, you'll see the raw HTML code for this table. So if you're used to this, this will be a rather user hostile kind of environment. But this is where you can tweak small changes if you want. Okay. Let's get out of here. I'm going to cancel this. Okay, what else? Here's your emoticons. Use that sparingly. This goes to full screen mode, which can be useful in that it gives you a little more room to maneuver. These are your justification things. So there's a bunch of these commands that look like they do in Word. But basically what you're going to need to know is how to create a link to a page, which also creates a page. This unlinks, and then here to upload a file, insert an image, insert something like a movie, and insert or edit a table. Now, frankly, I'm a little puzzled here about where my picture went to. And since I'm in the middle of recording this as a demo, what I'm going to do here is just reinsert the picture rather than problem solve on your time. So let's get that picture back here. Upload it, and then I'll need to resize it. Just drag to resize. Okay, so this basically is what you need to know to get started. And since we've created this page now, let's go down and save it. I would encourage you to save periodically, like maybe every 5 minutes while you're working on your page, just so if you have a computer crash, you don't lose something. If you just click save, you're still in edit mode here. If you click on save and exit, you save and exit. Always remember to say save and exit before you log out. So here you've got the beginnings of a project page, and I'll have a discussion page for posting questions about how to do stuff. But be intrepid, feel free to play around with these various commands. You can always fix things later. If you want to be real exploratory, just set up a separate page to play around with stuff and get a feel for it. Okay, so let me save and exit again. And that concludes this demo.